Hey everyone, welcome to my voiceover ride where I share my entire training ride with you and give you a voiceover of what I worked on and what I'm doing to help you train your horse better or get some insight into how someone else is training. So here I am on Jett. I just got on, I didn't cut anything off besides me just getting on. So usually what I do when I get on is I walk for about 10 minutes. And with him, I do a couple different things when I'm walking. I keep him on a nice loose rein, and the first thing I noticed watching this back is that he's definitely behind my leg, and I'm almost leaning back a little too much for what I would prefer. So that's definitely something that I need to work on. Um, but yeah, basically the goal of first warming him up is to just get him loose, get him ready to go. Um, yeah, just getting him ready to work and getting me ready to work basically. All right, I went ahead and skipped over to when we started trotting. So I've just picked up the trot with him and I'm just trying to encourage him to work kind of long and low. One thing about Jett is he likes to be very tight in his back, and when he gets frustrated or nervous, his first response is to always shorten up his back. So I really try to make a point of encouraging him to step out, and I'm trying to get him low, stretching his back, but also keeping his nose a little out in front of the vertical. So another thing that I've been working on with him is just getting him to figure out how to keep moving forward. This is something that he really struggles with, and something that I've had to work on with myself too is just figuring out how to encourage him to move forward and not be nervous. And you can see he's a pretty relaxed guy here, but this has taken a really long time to get to this point. So now that I've gotten to this point of him being nice and relaxed, it's teaching him that it's okay to move forward and not get nervous. And you can see every now and then too, I kind of ask him to move forward, and sometimes he'll kind of grind on the bit a little or bite down, just because he's like, I don't know, like right there he grinds a little bit. Another thing that I like to do when I warm up is these walk trot transitions. And again, it's just trying to get him kind of in front of my leg, and like I said, realizing that it's okay to move forward and that he can do that and not get nervous. So here I've gathered up my reins just a little bit. I'm still kind of encouraging him to stay a little out in front of the vertical. This day in particular, I was really, whoops, he kind of slipped there, lost his hind end. I was really trying to work on getting him comfortable being in front of me, which, like I said, is a little bit of a challenge for both of us. So I'm okay with him not being entirely in frame. Something that he has a really hard time with also is accepting contact, and I think that's just because he raced for so long, and obviously that's not really a thing in racing. So this bit that I have in his mouth is a really, really, really gentle rubber bit that has a slight bend in the center, so it gives with his mouth. It's very soft, very forgiving, but
There you go. Good.
yeah, the goal is to just try and get him to be on the contact without getting nervous or getting behind my leg, and trying to figure out how to get him forward and on the contact at the same time. And I'm actually really happy with that frame right there. Like, he looks happy in his work. Yes, he could be more in frame, but he's using his hind end well. He's listening. He's relaxed. That's what I want. And there he's blowing out a little bit. And you can see with these walk-trot transitions, he's starting to move out a little bit more and be a little bit more responsive to my leg. For being such a sensitive horse, leg is always something we've had an issue with. But, that was really nice. He's coming up underneath himself much better than when we started. And again, for this stage in his training, I'm really, really happy with that. I think it's really important to remember that even with big goals and even with a horse that you think has a lot of potential, it's really important to always go back to the fundamentals and remember that pyramid of training, and remember that rhythm and suppleness and relaxation, those are your most important things. So sometimes it's okay to kind of take a step back and work on this stuff and work on the basics and maybe not be in frame and just have a nice, happy, relaxed horse. So the serpentines are something new that I've added in with him. He's kind of funny because since he does tend to get a little stiff in his back, he really doesn't like changing bend from left to right or right to left. So it's been fun to kind of play around with the serpentines and see him kind of suppling up with them. One of my goals with him is to actually practice like an actual dressage test. So when I looked through the test and realized that training and first level both have these shallow serpentines, I realized that I should probably practice that a little bit before practicing the whole test. So yeah, that's what we're working on here. And I'm really trying to get him moving off my leg. Like there, he looks really nice. He's responding well to my leg and my aids. And for training level, that's great. That's more than enough for what he needs to be doing right now, like I said. And then nice transition into the canter. That's another thing we've been working on, is just having these light steps into the canter. And trying to encourage him to carry himself, but also move forward. I love his canter. I always have. When I first started riding him and working with him, his canter was a little bit rough just because he came from that racing background, but he just has, to me, just such a beautiful stride at the canter. So there I do a really, really shallow serpentine and he gets confused right away. So I try to be very forgiving and just take my time, take him back around. And there I do an extremely shallow serpentine, but I'm just trying to help him understand what I want from him. So not overdoing it and just being very gentle and forgiving. And there, that was much better. So he's coming off that inside leg much better. He's understanding what I want. And that's a really nice frame for him too. Again, just trying to keep him relaxed while he's learning new things. That's very important to me. And now you can see too, after that canter work, he's moving on a little bit nicer, moving more forward. Another little serpentine. I'm really happy with how he's moving through these, especially watching this video back. It's just nice to see him so relaxed. He maintains such a nice tempo. His back is swinging really nicely. His tail is swishing back and forth. He just looks really happy to do his work. I'm also adding in these sitting trot circles too, because he's a horse that doesn't really like sitting trots, so just adding it in small segments works a lot better for horses like that. And then here we are cantering the other way. I'm going to practice those serpentines again. And I was fairly happy with that for my first time trying that. Coming off the right leg, he is a little bit stiffer and doesn't really understand the right leg as much. So the fact that he didn't break and he really tried, I was happy with it. You can see there I went for a bigger loop and he responded really well. Again, I'm really, really happy with him. He's trying. He lost his canter there, that's okay. And I think at this point I decided that since the other direction felt so good, that right lead felt really good, I wanted to go back and try this lead again. So same thing, I'm just going for that deeper bend, and then there he loses it, that's okay. So just really trying to help him understand that he still needs to go forward, but also come off my leg. And I take him back to that Showler loop just to help him understand. And there he switches his lead. So that tells me that he's not quite ready for that depth yet, but I'm just going to keep trying. And there he does a really nice one. He comes off my leg really well. And there he got it. So as you can see, I really booted him forward and tried to help him keep going. And at this point, my camera is about to cut off filming, but basically after this, I think I cantered a little bit more, and then I did some long and low trot, and I walked him out, and that was it for the day. So I hope this helped you out seeing me do the fundamentals with Jett, and I'll see you next time. Bye!